Welcome to ArenaCast number 5, coming to you from turn 30, halfway through the game. I'm Griffin.
And Koski.
Silist.
And we're going to talk to you about everything that's happened in the first half of the game, and then we're going to talk a little bit about what we think's going to happen by the end of the game. We're halfway there. We're going to dive right in the turn 30 big events. First of all, Fight or Fail kicked in. Quite a few spots got dropped. We saw some players just kind of hanging on there with one or none, and they got knocked out. Let's talk a little bit about that. I'll talk about my good friend and neighbor and agitator, Brizio. I prematurely declared his death before I realized that Fight or Fail does not kick in till turn 30. And in a last-ditch effort, he tried to make it to one of my planets to stay in the game. He's now dead, 22. It was a noble effort, attacking an area where I didn't have a lot of ships, which, as an aside, I think is what my friend Koski's planning on doing to me, too. So I wasn't sure if I was going to survive this or not, but hey, he lost it, but he gave one valiant try on the way out to just stick around for a little bit longer. Koski, why don't you talk about Flabes, F-L-A-A-B-S?
Yes, he is a fellow crystalline who unfortunately had a bit too passive and pacifistic and perhaps too friendly beginning with his neighbors. He started in a very close relation to Spore in the same planet cluster, quite nearby, and for quite a few turns they actually coexisted there without any conflict, and I was thinking that they were kind of perhaps they had some kind of a peaceful coordinative shenanigan thing going on with each other, but soon Spore started attacking Flabs. He started it by attacking multiple freighters and destroying one warship from Flabs, and then the robot over there, Cirrus, joined in and covered Spore's, the Birdman's planets, and also Flabs' planets pretty well. And then Flabs was taking damage a lot from Spore, but now also Zalric, the colonies player from the western side, moved in also and is starting to take planets and making action over there. So it seems that Flabes is in the worst kind of situation where he is alone with no friends against a bunch of friendlies. And so that was the story of Flabes, and thus there are now this pretty strong Zalric, Cirrus, Spore, triumvirate, what's the word, trio. But what was really interesting and surprising was to see that Spore made an alliance with Möper. And it's indeed surprise because Spore is there having a lot of cooperation with those three, and now he has no connection to Möper whatsoever.
Indeed. All right, we've also lost very early on a Borg player. You report on that one. He missed 3 turns and dropped and then got targeted. So that was Meyerdin. And then we have Sprackman. Do we know where Sprackman was?
Nope.
Brackman was Darn, I reported it quite a few times. Brackman was attacked by
He
a
was the
player.
Rebels, right? No, that was Brizio. He must have been. Who was he? $35. He was a Borg player as well.
Yeah. Was the Sprackman the player that Mapdot killed? Mapdot,
No, I
the
think
Birdman, started
wasn't.
with Dark Wings and went with Dark Wings to the close by Borg player. I think it was Sprackman, and he took it out.
I mean, there's also Beagle next to him. I'm not sure if you mean him,
Yeah.
but yeah.
No. The Borg
Another one?
on the east from Beagle,
Ah, okay.
Sprackman
who was there.
was right here.
Yeah. Yes. And he was the one who was first. He was attacked by
Oh yeah,
Mapdot very early by the
very
Dark
early.
Wings.
That's right.
And Mapdot and Beagle actually had some kind of a friendly thing going on, but then Beagle was ditched out from it after Mapdot got the fire cloud. So it was the classic. How could you do this to me, honey? Crap.
So let's talk about who's near death.
I mean, we also have three people fight or failing this turn, still being in the game. This is Felgrim, Crumble, and Tay. For example, Tay was the lizard we reported on. He was the
Yes.
one against the Horwasp Cram, who is in first place now, and he finally succumbed to his Horwasp opponent, and with that, the Horwasp now has the whole cluster for himself. I think we reported
Yes.
2 casts ago on this one, and yeah, now he is fight or failed.
Yeah. And then Crumble came to. Was a replacement player. There was first a Evil Empire position that was being rebel ground attacked by Cesarimu, and he took over that position and played it somewhat. But then Kerui, the privateer, also joined in, and he's been attacked. He started as an underdog and
But
didn't.
kudos for him to
Did his
jumping
best.
in and giving it a good try.
Exactly. Yeah. We applaud.
Yeah. Sometimes losing's fun too.
Yeah, indeed.
And then
He.
Falgrim, he never got a strong start. He was in a 4-planet cluster, I want to say, kind of near me,
Yeah.
right here, and he never. I guess he couldn't find a way out, or he didn't move very far, and then the great mighty bot fleet of Durblond Hans came in and liberated him of that. He also made away with a Resolute, so watch out for cloaking bot lane ship.
Yeah. But to be honest, Sovereign didn't have a great start. A Sovereign started with just a couple of planets, less than Falkrim, but he did what he had to do in that position. So he just moved over and punched a neighbor or kicked in the groin and took over his place. Now
Yeah,
he's got a nice new house in the nebula.
yeah, he does, and he's guarding this wormhole right here. Now he's
There
guarding
might be
this
other.
neighborhood over here. Worried about visitors from this conflict region over here. All right, so also really low. So our sub 5 planets, we've got Black Lung, we've got Redithros, we've got an open rebel spot. So they're
Yeah,
probably
I
they're
think it's
probably going
the
to be
Dragon
doomed.
22.
Oh yeah,
Dragon
that's right.
22, yeah. He had a good reason. He had 8. He had all the full game slots going on, so he needed to start a new game. Start a new game. He had needed his
As they say sometimes, he'd cut bait.
fix. Yeah.
Beagle on his last death throes. A big boomer
He'd
boss.
been first once.
Yeah, he was. He did. He's had quite the fall. When you have hyper jumpers, you can get to a lot of places and really artificially jump your planet count, but you are also extremely overextended. So you can't defend all of that.
Yeah.
And then Koski's hero, Megapez, still hanging on there.
It would be great. It would be great to see him make a star base and make a comeback. He's got 43 priority points over there, so there's potential.
Maybe.
There's potential.
Now, we've talked about it. Koski, you've talked about it. Super Schmidt, he's got 6 planets left.
Yeah.
What do you predict for him?
Well, actually, I think it was a major mistake for the coalition over there to attack that Super Schmidt planet with multiple jackals and the hives. They lost the carriers in vain, I think, because those hives can't really move anywhere. So they should have been left alone, and those rushes could have been used, for example, to protect Oleg's own homeworlds from Cram. But what's done is done, and now Super Schmidt has an option to hang on. I'm pretty sure he could do that. He's not a winner candidate anymore by a long shot in any way, but he obviously wants to hang on. So people,
So you don't think he'll get his? You don't think they'll be able to put him down?
Well, just before that
Hive
last
attack?
assault on him, he didn't have that much priority points, for example. Now he got priority points for many rushes and everything. Now he can build the ships again, and so in that way they did themselves a disservice. But I don't think there's much use to putting him down, because now there's so many other players like Cram and everybody else who are starting to move around. Bigger player who are in stronger position and more powerful players. So I don't see the value in taking him out now when he only has 6 planets. Like, why?
I would also add to that, we have to keep in mind that the hives don't cost any priority points for him. They're just counted like he can build them by planet count, and this means every ship he destroys with a hive is for him 3 priority points. And even if they destroy a hive, I don't know, do the hives give you a lot of priority points or not?
The hives give you the same points as killing a starbase. So in this game, it's elevated, but normally it's just the 2 you get, and you still them, so they have to have them for it to give you points.
Yeah. So I mean, the hives are free to build, and even if he has no priority points at all, he can just spam hives until he's at the hive limit. But yeah, this will give him a very, very strong defensive position. Also, if he plays good with might to defend anybody who's coming for him. And yeah, as we can see there, he can dig in there pretty well, and I don't know if it's too smart to attack somebody who's in the trenches already.
Well, especially now that Cram has decided to introduce himself into the scenario.
Yeah.
If he makes a good hold in this area and starts pushing hard, it's going to be tough over here.
Yes. It's the Horwasp Invasion Part 2. It's the same
Yeah.
plot again.
Yeah. I wonder.
It's
I
the
wonder if
Horwasp
Cram
again.
saw an opportunity, or if he was solicited or in cahoots with Super Schmidt.
I could
No,
imagine.
I simply believe that Graham has peace blocked himself down
Mm-hmm.
south. He has made peace and deals with everybody all around him, so he can't go move anywhere else. He must use the wormholes to go somewhere. So now he's chosen that place, and uh,
Looks like he
really,
might be jumping in this other wormhole too.
yes. But where does it take him?
That takes him up here into Korak's floor. It's gonna get really
Yeah,
busy right here in the middle, I think.
in a sense, yeah. But maybe he's making some maths about where he could actually get planets, and because, well, you kind of made that easier for him to move in, because if there would be a lot of Virgos around, those are very nasty for wasps. But now, if the Virgos will be spread, maybe he can join in.
We'll
I
see
would
what
also add
happens.
to that. I would also add to that. I mean, for him, it's a very, very good opportunity. Even if he tries to get it into a team with Super Schmidt, this can be very, very easy for him because now they have to fight on two fronts, and both fronts are not really winnable because the one front he can just he can come through the wormhole with ships and has no disadvantage because theoretically he doesn't have any shields, but in praxis he never has any shields as a Horn Wasp, but they can't really, or if they attack him through the wormhole, they're on a disadvantage, and they're also
Yes,
on a disadvantage attacking Super Schmidt because of these hives. So actually, they do have the worst hand here because they in the offense they have less capabilities than the Hall Wasps in the defense.
Yep. They are. Cram is certainly making a good argument for how well the Horwasp can do in this game scenario. And Super Schmidt's scenario shows you how effective, to a point, deciding to
yeah,
take on the Horwasp as a group is, how important it is to keep knocking them back, but also how important it is to really think about your moves in doing that. I kind of agree
yeah.
with
But
you. If I was the one making the choice about what to do about those hives, it would be kill everything else.
yes, indeed, indeed. Don't touch the hives. Go around them. That's usually my advice. And the Wasp are an excellent race if you want to hang around. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you can have a few planets somewhere and try to stick around and keep them alive more easily than many others. But it's actually when the game starts to be more developed, it's quite difficult for the wasps to invade, for example, from one cluster to another
Yeah, you got to just starve
against,
them
for
out.
example, so I'd say that they are a very good Mega Arena race, but they are not among the best. They are. There are multiple reasons why they are a lot worse than even Fury. Fury is a good Mega Arena race, but not the best.
But I would also add to that, Kram is making a very good argument to kill all the Hall Wasps we see in the next round as fast as possible. So maybe it's not the best choice he made
No,
because now we will
thing is,
all try to
the
take him
thing
down.
about Cram is that he's an excellent player, and people don't really remember that very soon. If they see Joshua's name, they immediately pay attention. But if Cram is somewhere, people, for some reason, maybe it's because he doesn't make a lot of noise about himself.
Yeah. In the old 11 player days, what was rule number one?
Well, it was Kill the Borg. Kill the
Maybe,
Borg.
maybe,
Yes,
maybe rule number zero is kill the wasps.
yes. It was used to say that kill the Emperor first. some years
No.
ago.
Was it?
But
I always thought it was the Borg, and then I think rule number 2 was kill the privateers.
no, but when we were in Planets.nu about 10 years ago, when we
Yeah.
started to get emperors, it started
Oh,
to be
kill
this that
the
that
Emperor, not the Empire. Yep.
no, kill the emperors first. Yeah.
Hmm.
And if there's somebody like Imorg, it really just distorts the whole setting because he's there. He's like a celebrity.
Yeah.
So everything goes. How do we handle with Emorg, or I want to work with Emorg? It's
So we talked a little bit about wormholes last episode, and a little bit here and about what's going on. But let's talk about stellar cartography beyond that in the game and
yeah.
how we think it's shaped the game, influenced the game. You know, we have a black hole, we have a couple of the neutrino clusters. Um, there's debris disks, which I actually haven't been paying that much attention to, so I don't know if they've been used a lot. I know one of the wasp got into one. Looks like over here, I think. But to what effect do you guys feel stellar cartography has been influencing? So I'll let Silas start off on this one.
So for me, for example, very close to me, I saw one of the debris disks. I have three around my nebula. One of the debris disks got taken very very quickly by the Fed, which makes sense because the Fed needs minerals quickly. So we can see here it's very important for him. It's an important source for resources, but also with the other stellar cartography, we have a neutrino star right below me as well. And as we said, I think the wormholes are probably one of the most important things here because they can make an empire rise or fall. Because, for example, if Cram had no wormholes now, where would he go? He could just stay in the sector and not move anywhere. But now with the wormholes, he really has a chance to change something. And I think the wormholes are something you really have to watch out for. And of course, the nebulas are a very, very big factor here because you are hidden, your ships are hidden, nobody sees what you built. This is what we talked about earlier as well. But yeah, I would just put that in here as well.
Indeed, and also one thing people tend to forget that the natives are more happy in Nebula and you get more money out of them, though. I think, Silist, you have a pretty good situation there in your little Nebula, and or especially as you are hissing. But the two most important things in stellar cartography, the first most important thing is that they are extremely good natural obstacles against big minefields and webs. So you can build and design your defenses and attacks in that sense that the enemy can't make large webs and minefields there. And the other one is fuel. The new black holes should give fuel, and debris disks. The best thing about them is that they give a lot of fuel. It's easy to get fuel out of them. So
You know,
yeah, I don't
I live
think
near this black hole, and I don't think Zalric has explored it at all. Nope.
no. I think that the debris disks have great potential to affect the Megarena, but so far the stellar cartography hasn't been exploited, utilized as much as people could use them.
I'll tell you in my neck of the woods,
Uh,
the fact that this star cluster was so close to Corax Floor's homeworld made me know what the biggest minefield I had to deal with was as I was sneakily approaching. In fact, you can see he had some stuff going on here. Here's where I accidentally exposed myself. Don't know why he didn't catch on to I was coming. And then you can see his minefield shrink. But I knew this wasn't going to get much bigger than that. I mean, this is 51 light
Yeah,
years. It wasn't going to get
indeed.
much bigger than that.
It's also something that people don't remember or even know, that when you have a star cluster radiation, it's that and the core plus 10 light years. That's the area where you can't lay mines. It's the core plus 10 light years. If you overlap that, you lose your mines.
Mm-hmm.
And also that 10 light years is an excellent safe passage for Fury to travel safely without,
Except,
and for
except,
robot too.
except, don't do it with your stealth armor ships. They don't work inside of radiation fields.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about one region that's kind of been sticking out, and that's the southeast quadrant. There's been a
Yes.
decided lack of massive conflict in this area. I mean, if we just kind of go back through the turns and see how many explosions from VCRs there aren't in that area, I mean,
Yeah.
it's remarkable compared to the amount of combat that's happening in other places. I mean, you can
Yes.
see here,
Yes.
there's only been very, very small scale conflict.
Yeah. It's actually, on the other hand, that's a tiny bit of illusion, because there's a lot of privateers over there. So, for example, that's also, well, actually, that's southwest where Crumble is taken by Kegrui, but there was that robot that was taken over by Robber Baron, and then there's the Mecha Bears showdown that's also there, but that's pretty much it. There's the Neodemus in the very center, and he's been very, uh, the blue one below those, he's been very peaceful with a lot of neighbors. He's more doing something with Blue Jay over there, and it wasn't until recently when Tomako started his assault against the Blue Jay, the crystalline, that anything around there happened really. In
Mm-hmm.
there are those two Federation workshops selling their services over there, the Psydeb and Möber areas. So that's like European Union over there, There's just, they are drinking wine and making deals with each other, and maybe they are on vacation. I don't know.
Random uranium rock flying through from
Yeah,
Cram from the other
Cram
side
has
of the
been
map.
flinging them.
Yeah, quite interesting. What do you guys think? You think it's gonna light up over there? Celeste, what do you think?
Well, if
So personally, I think if they have a big alliance, like as Koski said, the European Union, I think it's very unlikely for one to attack another because he would probably be attacked by everybody. So that's not smart. Um, I think maybe they will try to work together. I'm not sure. I think there's no Borg in there that could help coordinate their attacks, but I think that if they attack, they will attack together. Maybe they try to take down Cram because he's right now the first place, and try to take him down. But I think he's probably a bit too far. Um, Maybe they will find some wormholes to get there. But yeah, I think apart from that, it's not really there. There won't happen a lot there because mostly from experiences I have, if there's one big alliance, that alliance won't break in any form. And if these people attack, they attack together. They attack somebody else, but not each other. This is very
Hmm.
unlikely in my opinion.
Yeah, there didn't
I
seem to
think
be a
that
lot of good connections to get over there.
yeah, I think that Mega Arena is an excellent setting in that sense that many players don't think diplomacy very far. They like to start peacefully and build things in peace, make peace with everybody around them, and then around some time they realize that they don't know what to do and they can't move anywhere
Box
because they've got
himself in.
peace everywhere. Yeah, like this. And but there's lots now. The wormholes kind of solve the issue, so you can first just start building happily everything and be happily friends with every neighbor, and then when you can't invade anybody, you can just pick a wormhole, any wormhole, and go somewhere. Mm.
Yeah, and if you don't like any of the wormholes, just wait a couple turns, and you'll have 5 more show up in within 400 light years of your homeworld.
Yeah,
I don't know why they keep spawning near me.
you've got so many planets. It's so wide area. Sure, you can lend some over to other players.
No, no, they're too cold. You're not gonna like them.
Yeah,
All right,
I'm not picky.
was that?
I'm not picky. You know.
You should be picky. Come on, you're only gonna get so many. There's lots of probably warm planets in your area. You didn't have to come to my wormhole. Uh, we're halfway through the game, guys. 30 turns down, 30 turns to go. Uh, there's still a lot of players in the game. Still a
Yes.
lot of players in the game. Do you think, what do you think is going to be the success rate of people being able to finish what they started? There's a lot of people who are in conflicts that have been going from very early to just started. Do you think there's going to be a widespread, successful completion of these campaigns to exterminate their enemies? Or do you think people are just going to keep hanging on? Is there enough time?
Koski, you want to go first?
Well, I think that what I'd love to see now is somebody who's been totally under the radar so far in our reports and arena casts and haven't been mentioned at all. Simply just picks a wormhole and goes in and start taking planets and just rolling over people and ships and building new ones. And then we have some heavy phaser or super carriers going all around.
So
Something
what do
like
you think?
that would be great to see. Yeah.
So yeah, I think to get more on the part with success rate, many people won't really finish the conflicts if they don't have them, if they're not on the finish line yet, because like if you think about it, if somebody's not really held down yet, but both people are strong opponents, they will probably keep fighting a bit and they will deplete each other's resources. But then with the time, they will also have less ships to fight with and have to rebuild new ones to bring them to the front lines and everything. And I think this will just take too much time. I mean, we have 30 turns gone, and it's only 30 more turns to go. So for my part, I think, for example, if you look at Beagle now, who has like 3 more planets, I think of course this will be endable. We will end this probably. But even Super Schmidt, I'm not sure if he will die or if we will be able or if he will be able to hang on. But Koski wants to say something, I think.
Yeah, I want to say something. In Planets is a game where always you can do with diplomacy a lot, and with combining player abilities you can do a lot. And that means that if you are going to really successfully in any setting to conduct an attack, you need to be sure that you'll crush your enemy fast. And that's what I just mentioned about somebody coming under the radar and starting rolling over enemies, because if you attack slowly against the enemy, the enemy has time to think and call for help and drink tea and send probes somewhere and get help and sell his behind to everybody. And in that sense, if you want to do successfully steamrolling, you need to have superior numbers and superior firepower and don't give a chance for defensive coalitions to react or form at that point. So I hope and expect to see somebody just coming and not giving a snowball's chance in a very warm place for the other players.
Uh, my early years of playing Planets exposed me to Sun Tzu's Art of War. And if
Yeah,
you haven't read it, it's excellent reading for a Planets player. And one of the quotes in the books is victorious warriors win first, then go to war, while defeated warriors go to war first and then seek to win. Which is a very fancy way of saying fight when you know you're going to win.
yeah.
Um, so,
And when you win in superior numbers, in like 10 to 1, then you won't lose anything. You lose very little ships. You crush the opponent,
mhm.
and then you are. That's the energy that makes your steamroller really continue, because you don't lose the energy as you
Yeah,
advance.
if
Because
you ask any warfighter, any general, any strategist, when someone says that's not fair, um, you don't you don't win wars by fighting fair.
yeah,
So that's really
indeed,
important. You want to take fair out of the equation and win with
indeed.
overwhelming numbers, so that whatever your costs are minimized by that overwhelming victory. Uh, I think I think it's going to be tough. I would say though, if you're this is a message to my fellow players. If you are not in conflict and you see someone with a low planet count in your neighborhood, go say hello in an unfriendly manner. And you can contribute to that. And what that will do is that will open up planets, that might open up shipbuilding. Oh, that's a good question. Halfway through the game, we have not seen, I think, a single regular build since maybe the turn after the ship limit. I think I got one more after the first limit got hit. And I don't know how widespread that was. So, do we think, do we still think that we're going to see some regular ship builds in this game in the last 30?
Yeah,
Ship limits, ship counts currently at 699. Well, we could. It's gone down. I think it peaked somewhere near 720.
yeah. I'm sure we'll see regular builds. It will happen when people start making war and not love, like now.
What do you think, Sos?
So for my part, I think I will actually have to doubt this a bit because we will see some fighter fails now, and we already saw some of them. This contributed to the ships going down, ship count going down. But as you can see right here, the people who are fighter failed right now, who have 0 planets, have like combined, I think, yeah, 8 ships. This is this is a lot, but not for 3 players. That means like two ships per players are left, so we don't have that one big fight or fail wave, which gives us a big free big open up for the ship limit, because every if you are defeated, if you only have 1 planet, then you don't have many ships left, because if that 1 planet gets defeated, then you have if you have 0 planets, you have maybe 2 ships, but that's it, because you will try to defend your planets, of course, and not try to defend your ships. That's why I think we won't get a big wave. And even if many people go to war, I think they will not try to send in every little terraform ship and get the ship limit down, but they will send 3 big Virgos, and if all of them are destroyed and maybe destroy 5 more ships, that's 8 ships gone for one big conflict. and I think we won't see that much here. And we have to think about pods and hives again. They do not contribute to the ship limit at all, because if you have like 3 hives, it does not count as any ships. And if you have a very big fight, 3 Virgos against 3 hives, and then the Virgos die and only 1 hive survives, we have 3 ships less, and this is probably one of the biggest conflicts per for a player there. Koski, you want to say something?
Yeah. And you also want to see the Horvasps have priority points by the bushel, and they can use those for building ships as well. And they can do a lot of ships because they are pretty cheap priority points wise. And so this mega arena setting that gives you more priority points from combats is really good for the Horvasps because
Yeah. Look at Super Schmidt, 48
yeah,
priority. He's
because
got the
he's
most right now.
targeted by those rushes, and he gets from multiple rushes he gets priority points. So, and he can build a new checker with the 2 priority points. So you can understand the maths why I said that it's not that smart to attack with those ships there.
I have a quick question. If a Stinger kills a ship, does the Horwasp get priority points or not?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
and
okay.
that's why you should attack stingers only with ships where you win for 100% certainty, and in best case not take damage and not lose any torpedoes or fighters. So as mentioned,
I
my
mean,
favorite thing is the Merlin with heavy blasters. That's
It's an expensive
excellent.
warship.
Buckswatter 3000, that's my name usually for it.
but I think if you spend torpedoes defeating a Stinger, it's still quite okay, because the Stinger costs some minerals to build as well. Because
Yes,
I'd rather lose 100 torpedoes than 1 ship, which costs priority points, because these torpedoes are easy to rebuild if you have the minerals. So I think that's quite okay still, because not everybody has the pleasure to have a Merlin with heavy blasters. But yeah.
but everybody can have it. That's the beauty in it.
So let's talk about resources. Turn 30.
Yep.
You got the highest planet count being in the 20s, upper 20s looks like. Yeah, Cram's climbed up there to 27. Um, but a lot of like the big players are somewhere between, 10, 15 and 20 planets. How do you think resources are doing in people's empires? What do you think? Obviously, priority points is a huge bottleneck. But how do you think the rest of resources going? In mega credits, minerals, fuel. Do you think people are feeling a pinch from any of those areas?
Well, what I've seen in my planets is that well, I was in the Cushion Palace with the multiple planets, but the minerals and the natives were really bad from 1 to 2 turns from the planet. But I found some very good ones 3 turns from the homeworld. So it could be that if you just stayed there using those few planets close to your home, you are doing pretty badly now. But if you spread out and exploited those planets 3 turns from you, you might have found some jackpots over there.
I would also add to that. Overall, we have a very early ship limit, and I would say we are pretty far from ship limit again. So there was a lot time to farm minerals without constantly building ships, because you only build priority points, priority builds, and I think this comes along. Don't have that many ships per player, so you don't have that big of a fuel problem yet. And as everybody has some planets, they get to mine some minerals, maybe invest them in torpedoes and fighters, but I think everybody has quite an okay mass of resources here. The question is just, did they build enough ships before the ship limit, and do they have enough priority points to keep it up? Because, for example, I'm sure the lizard Tay, who got defeated by Cram, he did have a lot of minerals and everything, but he just didn't get these builds out before the ship limit. I think he got 1 T-Rex and like 3 Lizard class cruisers, and that's just not enough. I think the biggest problem about resources is finding them before the ship limit in this game. In most games, but finding them before the ship limit in this game is very important. And now most players do have enough, or at least they don't lack too much of minerals right now.
Yes, but it's also by design. For example, you can use the priority points the way you can mitigate this problem a bit. I, for example, haven't been using any Federation super refit services, and I won't be using them, because what I do usually is that I build my heavy phasers and Mark 8 torpedoes after ship limit. For example, now all my Sky Garnets, you can see them, they are heavy phaser and Mark 8 transwarp ships. 2 priority points each. So
Yeah, and
it,
what I would add to that is, if you build with priority points, they they typically don't run away. So these priority points, you really want to invest them well. You don't want to build a cheap ship with it. But if you have them, you will try to build the best as always. And I think in this game we can see it even better, that you will try just only heavy phaser Mark 8, or at least heavy blasters or something like this. But you won't see plasma bolts built with priority points. I wouldn't do that either.
Right. Okay.
unless you are desperate.
Yes. Well, desperation changes every variable here.
No. I'd
All right.
also encourage people to use up your priority points, because then they can't be stealed. They can't be stolen. So why are you conserving them for later time as a reserve? Maybe, but use them first. Go all in.
Mm-hmm. Let's wrap up with another round of rapid fire questions. In the first arena cast, uh, we asked we discussed three questions in our rapid fire, and we're going to start with that. So, turn 60, how many players are left? We said on turn 1, Koski said there'll be 20 players left. Silist said 23, and I said 25. Do you want to change your answer?
Nope.
Still 20. Silist?
I would probably go with a little bit higher number, probably also around 25, 28, because we see not that many players are wiped. We have half games over now, and even if we don't count the sub 5 players, even if we count them as eliminated, only 10 players are out now. So if this continues at this rate, we will probably see less players being eliminated. Of course, in endgame, more players will die, but I think it will not be that rapid to get down to 20 players.
I'm going to change mine to 30.
No.
All right. Planet leader. So the first place player. How many planets are they going to have in the game? Right now, the highest planet count halfway through the game is 27. Koski, you previously said 80. Silist, you said 64. And I said 100, which I absolutely got wrong. It will not be 100. I'm going to change mine. I'm going to go 60. Celeste?
I will stay with mine. I think it's a pretty good
64.
good guess.
Koski?
I'll go very much lower. I'll take 50.
50. I
50.
think that's still a good bet right there. And then the last question that we had on our rapid fire in turn one was which races will be most represented? Do you guys remember what I told you before we started? No? Okay, I'm going to keep it a secret right now. Koski, let's see if your answer changes. Who do you think are going to be the top two races represented in the game?
Two.
Top two races. Most still in the game.
Well, robots. Robots. I think I said that already. And at the moment, the other one is pretty much harder. I'd have to say Federation is gonna go tough.
So just to clarify, the races coming out on top or the races with the most representatives left?
Most representatives left.
Oh, okay, that's kind of a hard one, but I think I would probably go with the birds and the Fury, because the Fury have that little pact that we heard of, and this makes it very unattractive to attack them, obviously. So that would be my call.
Yeah, Koski's about to test that.
Yeah, well, also, what's in robots, we have some very strong players with some very strong positions over there. Of course, there's somebody who are already died as robots, so they are not making good number. But for Federation, what's interesting is that you are kind of when you get easily into a coalition as the Federation because you super ref it, but you are also kind of you have a lot of power inside that coalition to dictate the tempo, what you are doing, where and when, and how are you going to do it. And people they want in the coalition you to succeed, because if you don't, you lose your own ships. They are in refit shipyards, or then they are being used by Federation to win some Federation bonus battles. So Federation has this
I'm gonna say
alliance bonus.
I'm gonna say the colonies and the Fury. Um, whilst one of our brethren did get attacked, he does have safe harbor, and so we will try to keep him alive and maybe revive him if we can. And the colonies have been making a pretty strong showing. Uh, Probably better than I expected them to. When you look at the economy of the carrier races, I always think of the rebels having the most economic carrier, but there are a good amount of Virgos in existence.
Yes.
And so I think that's going to make good strong. So how does that contrast to what we said 30 turns ago? Koski's optimism of the resilience of the crystals is showing since he dropped them from his top representatives. He went from crystal bots to feds bots, so he still believes in the power of minefields. And so said bots and carriers, and he dropped all the carrier races from his top reps and went birds and furies. And on turn one, I said my friends the birds were going to do good, but you know what? Some of them are struggling. One of them is about to get eliminated, so it may just not be able to bring that power to bear in a way that they need to in this game. I think everyone was really worried in the full visibility that the birds would be overpowered, and it does not look like that's the case. There's been some good shows, but
Yeah.
I do not think it's overpowering for them.
Not at all.
The birds have a very tough economy, and luck plays a huge factor in their power factor in the game. And when you have a ship list come this as early as it did, it's hard. It's so hard to build the power base that a bird needs to be successful. I think probably one of the things that the birds that I've seen in here have failed to do, MapDot's done it, I think, is you've got to be like super aggressive.
Yes.
You should have gone for a headshot if you didn't. And you gotta gamble with all your money to be successful in this scenario with the birds. And if you're not willing to risk it all, you're probably going to lose it all.
Yep.
I also think the Fury. So for me, like I said, I said the birds originally. They aren't doing it. I changed the comms and the Fury. The colonies are definitely, like I said, they got a strong showing, and are the majority of the Fury are consolidated in the northwest sector, and very communicative and working together and can back each other's up. And I do think and hope that the attack one, attack all doctrine has played a factor. It was a strategic objective, and we'll see. We'll see. We haven't been, other than Renethros, and Will-O-Wisp, who's in the, I point up because I see him through the wraparound, but he's in the southeastern. He's had some conflicts, but I think it's kind of leveled out down there. They took care of whatever they were working on. So I think you're going to see a lot of colonies, and I think you're going to see Fury having a strong representation. And I would say that one of the reasons why the Feds might not be is I don't think there were that many Fed players to start with. I don't know. I don't remember if they got an even representation. I don't have a count in front of me, but not a lot of people chose the Feds as their race. So we'll see. Closing comments. Silist, you want to give anything as a shout out for the halfway through the game that you want to make heard?
No, I think we wrapped it up here pretty well. I think we talked about everything, and you made good points there.
You know what? Here, I'm going to have one last rapid fire question.
Okay.
Silist, will you be in the game at turn 60?
Of course.
Koski, will you be in the game at turn 60?
Definitely.
Okay, you're about to kick a hornet's nest. I think I will be in the
No.
game at turn 60.
Yeah. Yes.
I think
Yes.
a Formula One driver, I think Max Verstappen said it, you always have to believe that you are the best, and you always have to believe that you will win, because otherwise you don't even race at all, or you don't even play at all, because you will always have to have that mindset, because that's what comes first.
But I have a final last bet for you. What will be the highest total number of combats we'll see in one turn?
Ooh. What's the number right now? Do you know?
50. I would say 50.
We saw just 29 last turn on 29.
Okay, that's a good question. Highest combat per turn. I'm going to say 50 is a lot. I'm going to say 42, my favorite number.
Yeah. I love that.
Can I
Yeah.
jump in there real quick?
Yeah.
Last turn it was 49, just for your information, but just so maybe you want to adjust your.
I'm going to change my answer now. That's why I asked what the highest was. It was 49
I'm just looking
combats.
through it. Yeah, 49 combats, and it's always around 48. We had it at turn 15, and we have that number a lot. I think I will adjust mine as well.
Yeah. Yep. We're looking through here. Yep. Highest is 48.
Yeah, 49 on turn 29 is the highest.
All right, I'm going 60.
I was saying near my 50, I would say 55, because I think there's a limit to how many combats will happen in one turn. And I think
that when we are going to, in the final phases of the game, let's go for 100,
Whoa, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to put some bets down, huh?
Yeah.
The Kentucky Derby was yesterday. The Kentucky Derby was yesterday, as of this recording, and the winner of the Kentucky Derby made a massive from last place to first place in the last half of the race. So it was pretty amazing. And we did kind of allude to, like, is someone a sleeper right now who's going to make a strong showing? They're going to show their presence here. And if I were to say anybody is a candidate for it, it would be no, not him. Where is he at? Isn't he down here? It's
Not
that
him, no.
It's that Colonies player that's got a ton of Virgos.
Was that Paya?
No,
I'm
it
not sure.
wasn't Pan. It was Virgo.
I think Koski will just try to manipulate the numbers by just sending every of his ships in there to fight 3 hives just so he can win the bet in the last turn.
Where did all those Virgos go? That's interesting.
I think he traded them off. I saw a Fed player with like 2 or 3 Virgos for refit.
Yeah, that's
maybe I will find it again.
Yulki has them. He's either
Yeah,
made a deal or he's fixing them up for him.
Maybe these have been traded, and he will get them back later.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this is where they went.
I think it was Domus. Yeah.
Because otherwise, I think we would have noticed it very much.
Oh, I noticed it earlier. But I think the Feds are the ones fixing them. Yep.
Yeah, no, I mean we would have noticed it with like 3 Virgos just went away. Yeah, right there. That's what I meant. The planet with the 2 Virgos and some more, and the Scorpius right there.
Okay, guys, we're halfway there. Everyone, thanks for watching. We'd love to hear some comments, some feedback. What would you like us to talk about in the next episode? To our fellow players, good luck in the final 30. It's anybody's game. Everybody's within reach. Well, at least half of the game is within reach of the top spot. So keep on fighting. Hang in there. It's gonna be a badge and honor just to survive to the end. So fight to keep that one planet. That's all you gotta do. Koski, any final comments on the way out?
Let's try to break that combat record, you know.
He's got some money on it, guys. He wants to get that 100. All right, I'm Griffin.
Koski.
Silist.
We'll see you in the arena.